What's up, YouTube community? Thanks for joining me again for another quick project. Today we're going to be making a scratch awl. And the materials we're going to be using is this old heavy-duty nail we had in the shop and a piece of elk antler tine, which is going to be the handle material. On a previous project on the channel, we made a stitching awl, which has a triangular shape. Look back at my past videos if you're interested in learning how to make this. But this scratch awl is going to be for the layout portion when we eventually have enough tools made to start working on leather projects. So follow along and yeah, we'll get started. We're going to be using this 1x30 belt sander to do a lot of the shaping when it comes to the handle. We're going to be installing an 80 grit belt. And we will also be using this belt sander to remove the galvanizing off of that heavy duty nail. Now that we have the belt on, we're going to install the guard to keep metal and other debris from flying straight at our face while we're using this. We're going to start off with the nail. We're going to work it on the loose part of the belt sander and just ever so slightly apply pressure just to remove the galvanizing. It's not so critical to remove it up here because this is going to be epoxied into our elk tine handle. At the end of the nail, we're going to round it 1/2 inch to 1 inch up. Just make a nice gradual taper all the way to the end. And that's what we're going to do now. We have the galvanizing removed on the shank just about all the way up to the head, and we're just ever so carefully working from about 1 inch up from the tip of the shank towards the tip, starting to give that a nice gradual point. We have the shape where we want it. Now we're going to take some sandpaper and sand in the direction of the shank of the nail and slowly work up with fine grit sandpaper to the tip to get a really nice sharp point. Then we're going to start working on the handle and prepping that. I've got some 100 grit sandpaper and I'm just going to be working in the direction of the shank, going to the tip. We have the nail, finished sanding it with some 100 grit sandpaper, and we finished off with this Scotch-Brite pad or Brillo pad, whatever you want to call that. Now we're going to start working on the elk antler handle. We're going to cut this elk antler at 3 inches. Then we'll take this cut piece that we're going to be working with over to the belt sander, round off the back, taper the front, and then drill the hole to epoxy our awl point into the handle material. Now that we have the receiving end of the nail tapered, so it's a more gradual transition going to the nail, we're going to find a drill bit that is the diameter of the head of the nail and drill into our handle material and then epoxy our nail into the handle. Now that we have the hole drilled, take some super glue, original, and soak the whole inside of the antler, the top, anywhere where it's porous. You want to soak that, otherwise it's too brittle and you can just break it off super easy. Be generous on this step. You want to make sure it is thoroughly soaked. Otherwise this will not hold up. It is very brittle. Once you have that side taken care of, flip it over, and this top section, make sure you soak all this in super glue. And after all this is soaked, let it dry, and then we will continue on. Now that the super glue has set up, you want to bring your handle material or antler, whatever you're using, all the way up to where the bevel is, right here at the edge of our drill hole. We'll do that all the way around, and then we will also sand the back that we treated with super glue as well. Now we're going to mix up some 5-minute epoxy, fill the hole, and then press the head of the nail into the hole and let that set up. Oh gosh, just made a big mess. Oh my gosh. Well, that didn't work out like I hoped, so if we don't have any more 5-minute epoxy, we're going to use this gel super glue and fill the hole and then press our nail into the hole. Got that filled up. We're going to take the nail and push this into the bottom of the hole. That looks pretty good. Finish using the gel super glue, filling up around the nail. This is not ideal, but it'll work. All the way to the very top. Now we're going to get a rag and wipe off the excess. Now we just got to let that dry. This was another quick little DIY. We have a couple more tools we need to make for doing some leather working projects, and then we will start slowly incorporating those new leather projects into the channel. Thank you for following along. Hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps, and I will see you guys on the next project. Thank you.